welcome to a brand new episode, this time from the city of Brescia in the northern region Lombardy. Brescia is also known as the Lioness of Italy, so the Lion of Italy. And the sources of this name are going back into the 19th century. There was a 10 days occupation of the city by the Austrians, and the people here, they were fighting against this occupation very hard, and after just 10 days it was over and the city was free again. And due to the fact that they were so brave as a lion, they received this name. Beside that, Brescia has a very big and rich history. The Roman civilization as well as the Lombards, they left a huge historical and archeological heritage. Today this is within the UNESCO World Heritage Site group, Longobards in Italy, places of power. And on this heritage site we will also have a look later. But now I would like to explain you what we can see here on the main square, the Piazza della Loggia. Here on the main square we can discover very beautiful Renaissance architecture, like this wonderful palace just behind me. That's the Palazzo della Loggia, the current town hall, and its construction began in 1492 by the famous architect and sculptor Sansovino. He's best known for his works around the Piazza San Marco in Venice, and also Andrea Palladio, the famous Italian architect, was involved in its construction. You can visit this palace from Monday to Friday and also on Saturday for a short time frame. And I will write you down the opening hours in my blog. The entry is free of charge. Now on the opposite of this palace we see another very interesting attraction. Above my head you can see this large and very beautiful astronomical clock. It's on the Torre dell'Orologio, and over the astronomical clock we can see Donne e Battista. These two men, they are beating every single hour with a hammer against the bell. And they are also called in local dialect, attention, I Mac delle Ure, so the madman of the hours. And in 1974 there happened a very sad terrorist attack that injured 102 people and 8 people even died. That's because over there is a memorial for them. Now the next place I would like to show you is the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay.
Grazie.
Grazie a te, ciao. This boy just wanted to take a selfie together with me, and actually this happened already a few times, that young people are coming to me very shy and they are asking, are you a YouTuber? And then I say yes, but not very famous. But anyway, then they want to take a selfie, and as the boy said, for showing it to his friends. And I always imagine myself how disappointed they are when they find out also on Google that I'm not famous. But of course it's cute, it's a honor for me, but I'm not famous. Please tell that to the children. now we just have arrived at the UNESCO World Heritage Site here in Brescia. It is composed of two parts. First of all, there is the Roman Forum and its archaeological complex just behind me. And then there is also the monastic complex of San Salvatore-Santa Giulia, including a museum. You can buy the tickets either for one of these two places or both together, as you like. We will now visit both and start with the Roman Forum. That's how Brixia, that was the name of the city during Roman times, had to look like. We see over there the Capitolium, the main temple, and then just beside it the Roman theatre. I just have finished my tour through the archaeological complex of the Roman Forum, and I would like to do a little review. So if you are really a big fan of Roman history, if you are interested, then it's worth it to pay this €6. Inside you will not find so much information, but still a bit, and you can visit three places. The first one is the Republican Temple. It's in the underground. You have to wait for minutes and watch a video in the meantime, because they are doing the air decontamination. There are very precious and delicate and beautiful wall paintings inside, but it's a small part. And then there is the Capitolium, the main temple behind me. There you can walk into the building. There are 3 rooms. One of them has still a very beautiful facade. And then there's also the Roman theatre that was one of the largest in northern Italy. It could host up to 15,000 people. And this theatre, as well as the Capitolium behind me, you can have a great look on it without even paying the entry price. So it's up to you. And now we will go to the second part of the UNESCO Heritage Site, to the monastic complex. So this is the entire complex you can visit here at Santa Giulia. The history of the monastery, then the early medieval period, appearance of the city, period of the city-states, and the Roman period. I just have left the monastic complex. It was very impressive and much bigger than the Roman Forum. There was so much to see. It's starting with the history of the monastery, with the holy relics, and then you continue with all the excavations from the Roman civilization out of the Bronze Age, together with a lot of information to study. So you will need a lot of time, much more time than when you just would visit the Roman archaeological complex. But here I really say it's worth it to pay the entry price, because inside you will see much more things. Also the beautiful wall paintings of the monastery itself, and that's really worth it. Now I got very hungry after this museum tour, and I will search a restaurant with typical local food. A typical dish here in Brescia are the casoncelli alla bresciana. They are similar to the ones I've already eaten in Bergamo, but this version has another shape and another stuffing. And it's stuffed with meat, and then it's also typically served with melted butter and flavored with sage. leaves. Just a few steps away from the main square you will find the two cathedrals of Brescia. The imposing one behind me, that's the Duomo Nuovo, the new cathedral. It's the main church of the city. And its construction began in 1604 and lasted 221 years until its completion in 1825. And it initially got designed by Andrea Palladio, one of the most famous Italian architects from the Renaissance period. He also did a lot of important works for the Republic of Venice. And then beside it there is the Duomo Vecchio, the old cathedral. It's also called the roundabout, La Rotonda, due to its round shape. And it's one of the best preserved cathedrals of Roman architecture here in the region of Lombardy. And we will now have a look into both of the cathedrals. We have already arrived at the last attraction, the Castle of Brescia, also called Falcone d'Italia, the Falcon of Italy. It was built between the 13th and 16th century. You can enter it by the drawbridge here. The entrance is free of charge. You will have a little park there and some towers with a great panoramic view all over the city. And the part where you have to pay is for getting into one of the two museums inside. The first one is the Museum of the Risorgimento, that was a social and political movement fighting for Italy's unification. And then there is also a museum with one of the richest European collections of weapons and armors on display. Now I hope you enjoyed this episode, and as always you will find all information on my blog. Thanks for watching. Ciao ciao.